I have to say. Okay, restart. Thank you for this event, and thank you for inviting, and thank you for the opportunity for sharing. Thank you for set this session soon after the Steve's one that was so amazing. So it will be really hard to compete with him, but we will try to do our best. However, this is a game that is not really far from the experience that we had with Steve's games. It's again a simulation. It's about scaling agile teams. Okay, it's not a virtual game like Steve's one. Actually, this was designed as a card game. And so we had a lot of session in person a couple of years ago. And now it's moved to virtual in a mural environment. So not so interacting like an app, but we will have some good learning the same. So before starting, just 1 minute about me. I'm Italian. I relocated in London 5 years ago, and working in a big bank with the Black Horse. And I practice triathlon here in London for the Serpentine team. I know that Steve go biking, and so maybe we can arrange something together. Like Deepti introduced before, I'm really engaged in the Agile community here in London. I'm the convener of two of the largest Agile community here, Lean Agile Delivery and Coaching Network and Digital Transformation. They are twin communities actually. We manage events, normally monthly, normally physical event, but since 1 year and something, we moved to virtual for known reason. And I also have a community in Italy that I manage by remote, that is Scrum Agile Milano. All of these communities are supported by Agile Alliances. And the Milan one, the Italian one, is supported also by Scrum Alliance. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, like Agile Dex, as you can see on the top right corner. I have a bunch of certifications, as you can see. But I think that the most relevant one probably is that I am one of the advocates of Play 14. I don't know if you can see my t-shirt. Okay, and Play 14 is a movement of conferences across the world. I don't know if you ever met them, but however, if you look, if you search Play 14 on the web, you will see who we are. Okay. Oops, this is an intrusion. Sorry for that. Just to remind you that tomorrow you have to support Italy and not England, just for your information. Anyway, move on. I produce different games. Most of them are card games because I like card games, and so I like physical games and what else. And today we are going to talk about DS Builder. But there are other games, simpler or complex. Just a few words about Agile Series, that is the first game on the left. It's a card game that I designed during the pandemic time where people cannot meet. And this is a solo game for coaches or for Scrum Master that want to challenge the situation of working with many teams together with an inconsistent backlog coming and a lot of events coming. So it's a solitary, so you can play by yourself. All of these games are available in download. They are not for free, or better, some of them can be for free. There is a voluntary price that you can pay. But the cost for them is a one-shot cost, but very, very cheap. The idea behind this model is that if you have a game that you can download for free, my experience is that you download and probably don't use. But if you pay a few bucks, like, I don't know, $5, something like that, okay, it's absolutely popular. I mean, not a problem. And I'm thinking that you are going to use it if you pay also for a small amount of money. Anyway, this is the commercial pitch. Here you can see the bit.ly reference to the Agile Game Factory, and you have also the QR code. However, it's easy to remember 2-AGF to go to the website where you can find all the games and all the information. There are also the facilitator game guides that you can find here. Okay. This is an experiment. This is a game on serious game, actually. Okay, so feel free to ask, to make any question as you want, and feel free, be open, collaborate. This game is about collaboration. Okay, so be open to put yourself and face some challenge, because this is exactly the goal of the game. So let me say this: ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. We have a promo video. Hopefully you have seen the intro video. Okay, so what is this game about? Please confirm me if you haven't seen. Okay, what is this game about? Okay, we have 6 teams. Okay, in this scenario, they are called initiatives. And there is a backlog of more than 100 items to be built. And the total amount, everything is already estimated, okay? And the total amount of points to be delivered is 476. And all the teams have to work together, and they have 6 cycles to deliver all the points for the emperor. Now, there is a constraint that actually each of the team cannot deliver more than 15 points. So this is the maximum velocity for each of the team. Given this constraint, actually, the backlog is perfectly achievable. You can compare. I mean, 6 by 15 is for 540 instead of 480. So there are a lot of points of, let me say, contingency that you can have. So this is just to tell you that everything is feasible. The backlog is mainly composed by these cards that you will find in your board, and actually they are also physical, meaning in the physical version of the game, I think you can see these are the cards. Okay, there are events card also and what else. So when you download the game, actually you have the print and play version and the virtual edition version. Okay, however, this is one of the components, okay? And you can see here on the top bar, you have the level of defense and the level of supremacy. That is the value of the component, okay, from the emperor perspective. There is the complexity point that you can see here. Each component has an ID that is the first letter of the initiative. So this is infrastructure, so starting with I, and a number that actually differentiate each of the components. There is a description of each of the component, and there is also here you can see a logo of the initiatives. There are some notes here that you can read, because actually this game has been designed that can be played physically, so with people, also with Lego. You need tons of Lego, but actually you can play this with Lego because each component is described with enough information that helps the teams to create the component in Lego. Then each item has a list of maximum 3 dependencies. For example, here you can see 1 dependency. Again, the idea of the dependencies is the related component. Okay, so the beneficiary component. In this case, it's a component of defense, D04. So in this case, it's a component of another team. Okay, but you can have also internal dependency. Okay, in the physical version of the game, let me share again. In the physical version of the game, you have also this part that is a collection of integration components that are required to make the components physically work. Okay, so not only dependencies in the creation of the component, but also dependencies in the activation of the component. So this is about components. Actually, the goal of the game is to make the plan, to arrange a plan so that the Dark Star will be built in 6 cycles, you as a team. And this is the mission board that probably you can recognize. It's you have different initiatives and different cycles, and then each of the components should be placed in the board. Oops, sorry. Okay, and so timing, we will do this in, okay, the session, the game session is 90 minutes in normal timing. Okay, so we will not be able to play the whole game, but in 40 minutes roughly, we will be able to test the game and to taste the game. So you will be able to check if this is something interesting for you, it's something that may be challenging for your team or what else. However, the idea of the game is to play in cycle of 15 minutes. At the end of the cycle, having a retrospective time, just to discuss in the team or across the different teams. And at the end of every cycle, there is an event that is drawn that may change the priorities of your backlog. Okay, so at the beginning, we will have a sprint 0 activity, but during the game, actually, we will manage. We have to deal with the time and with the events in the galaxy. Okay, we have seen that. About dependency, the dependency must be solved or in the same cycle or in a previous cycle. If, for any case, all the dependencies of a component are not fulfilled, the component is built, but it's not active. Okay, so to make this active, you have to pay 1 point extra. And there is another piece of information about, oh, I cannot see here, about the fact that you can build also component of another team if it's required, but this is, you have to pay 1 point of more effort for doing this. Okay. This is done. Okay, the session is in Zoom and we will share a mural board, and this is done. Okay, so as said, we will have a sprint 0 activity at the beginning when we split in teams, and we will manage the backlog. Roughly, this game is perfectly played with 30 people, roughly, so we can arrange 6 teams of 5 people. And it's enough. So we will try to split the same in 6 teams because I think that we are enough. But eventually the game can also be played with a minor number of people. Okay, but however, the ideal number is between 25 and 45 people. And that's it. Any question before moving to the game?
I think we are great.
Sorry, I cannot hear anything.
I said, I
So,
think we are great. Yeah. Let's
okay,
proceed.
perfect.
Yeah.
1 second, because I have this one. Okay, let me. I'm sending the link in the chat. Okay, so this is the link to the mural. Okay. And now I split the breakout rooms. Okay, in the mural, just for your information, let me share the screen for 1 second. Okay, in the right side, you can find the outline. So the number 1 to 6 are the 6 teams. And so will be the number of the breakout rooms. Okay. So if you are, for example, in the breakout rooms number 2, so you are going to work on defense. Okay. So you can simply click on the outline and you will be zoomed to your area. So you can move across the different area. Okay. And also you can move to the main board, for example. Okay. Now, when you are in your area as a team, you have a backlog that is here. You can simply zoom, okay? Or you can select one of the card, for example. Oops. And then you have this small icon that lets you zoom so you can read exactly all the information, okay? Here you can see, for example, this is the fence. You can see how the dependencies are organized, okay? If you want to resume to the area, you can do in this way. For example, when you have to arrange your backlog in the sprint 0, 15 minutes, you can simply take your card, put in the cycle, and then check if they have dependency and manage the dependency, or you have something before and what else. Okay. If you have an external dependency, what you can do is that you can take an arrow here. Okay, so you can select one of the corner and pointing to the other corner. My suggestion is to do this only for the external dependency. Okay, and eventually you can move, as you can see here. Okay, do only for the external dependency, so you can draw all the network of the dependency across the different backlog of the different initiatives. Actually, these are the only features that you need in Mural. So using the outline, zooming, and drawing the arrow. In the first stage, you have to focus on your own backlog. So manage your own backlog and forget the external dependencies, but just track them with the arrow. Okay? Make sense? Okay, let me see.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So let me launch the breakout rooms.
Okay.
How many rooms do we have? One. No, recreate. 6 room assigned manually, automatically. Okay, so we are 18 people with me, so we will have roughly three members for each room. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. So can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, then it's fine. Let's do it this way. Now we have to zoom it, right?
Yeah.
To understand the dependencies. Okay, which is the card number? L2, L15, these are the card numbers, I suppose.
Yes, yes.
And 5, 5, 8, these are the story points.
Apart
Right?
from the one which is at the bottom right, extreme bottom level. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going from down to up.
Down to up. Okay. L1, L2, L3, L4. Okay, these are the stories. And where we can see the dependencies, L12,
Yeah.
L04. These are the
Yes.
dependencies.
Yes. These are the dependencies.
Okay. Okay. So let's start with L01, and then we have to maybe pulling L12. No, L12 and L4.
That is, I think, I, or is it L? I12. So maybe it's an external dependency.
These are all external dependency only, I think.
And it's given, some details are given below. A massive plant or
massive plant for recycling air and distributing it back to all rooms where people is living. So we have to inform them that to complete I12 and I4 as soon as possible, like that.
I think so. Can we look at what is in L12 and I? Is it I or L? L12 and I.
No, it will be I. See, na, L is like this and
Ah,
this is I only.
So where is I12 and I04?
This is not internal dependence. No, this is not in our board. All L stories are there.
So do you think this would be in some other infrastructure? Can we go to infrastructure? Because
12, I04. But we can't take them in our team, right?
no,
That
we
will
can't. But
just checking. I12
uh,
and
I4.
I can't.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. Yellow. Yeah.
अगर मैं I01 लूँ तो I01
this recording is progress.
या ये भी I01 है, ये भी I01 है.
For
And we
I01,
have I09 कहाँ है? ये रहा. I09 is dependent on I01.
I01 and
I01, I10 भी ये देखो.
ये क्या हो गया?
we need to be in infrastructure stuff. So,
कहाँ चले गए हम?
zoom.
Zoom कर.
Select.
गायब हो गया.
नहीं, that particular, you need to put that icon होता है ना इसमें, that tool.
ये है ना.
Side से select करते हैं 3, just select from side 3 infrastructure, then you
समझ में आ गया. रुको एक मिनट. Somebody moved our whole I to other place.
Really?
Yes, now I am able to. Is this okay? ठीक है. I8 कहाँ है? I8 ये है ना?
9 है. This is 9.
9.
ये 8 है ना?
अब हाँ, that one जो select.
8 आपने ले लिया.
I14 हो जाएगा यहाँ पे. ये I19 पे है. 19 तो यहाँ पे है. 19, 15 और 10 पे है. ये वाला
एक बार
किस
थोड़ा
पे है?
zoom in करेंगे, मुझे दिख भी नहीं रहा है.
ठीक है.
अब ठीक है, अब बैठते हैं.
पहले सिंगल वाले देखते हैं. ये भी I01 पे है ना? I01 वाला यहाँ आ गया. ये भी इधर ही आ गया.
I01 एक वाला भी है ना? ये
ये
I10. हाँ, I10 को भी लगा दो. I10, I09.
हाँ
है ना?
ठीक है. और ये है कौन सा? 4 और 3 पे. तो 3 पे ये है. यार कोई और ले आया फिर पर.
अरे
Guys, I've sent you in a chat.
okay, click on restart. It's right.
Why is it so small?
Sidebar.
This is I19. I19 is dependent on 15 and 10. This will go up. 15, 14, 11,
15,
10.
10.
Too complex, yeah.
It's I16. It's I11, I06, I04, right?
Can you move it in the
can go
cycle
up.
one?
I4 कहाँ पे है?
Then,
Whatever we have selected.
ये देखो.
Cycle one.
I4 is
ना?
here.
Yes, yes. So I17 and I16, there is only one difference, na? I04. So अगर I04.
I04 is here already done in this
Correct.
order. So we
हाँ, what
need
about I06?
6 and 11.
One, हाँ, 6 कहाँ है?
6
Where
and
is
11.
I06?
It's down. It's down little bit.
6
हाँ, हाँ,
IO1 पे है, तो ये तो लास्ट में आएगा. 6
What
इसमें आ रहा है,
about
6 11 दोनों आ रहा है. ठीक है, ये वाला 4 and 3 है. 4 इधर आ गया. Where is 3? IO3 is here. So
Above I11.
where is I01? Where is I01? Let's
I01
see.
is here. This is I02 dependent on I03, so it will come here. Okay, 11, 10. 11, where is 11?
11, you just moved down the screen. Just
okay,
down here.
And 10 is here. So it will be done after this, that is here. Okay, and then this is dependent on 19, 16, and 10.
19, 16, and 10.
9.
So 10 is here.
6.
So it can be done here.
16.
And where is 19, 16? 16
Top
is
right.
here. 19 is
Move
here.
it below this.
19, where is 19? 19 is here, right?
Side.
So let's put it like this. And this will come after 19, right? So this can come on the same level. 15, 14.
Where is 15? 15 is on the outer side, left side.
14 is here, 15 is here. Okay.
Yes,
so this can be done after this.
Yes, yes, yes. That's
okay.
right.
Now if we
Sorry?
sorry, it has moved.
Yes. Now, what all things are done?
Yes. Now if we see, we need 15,
13, 15, 14.
15 and 10. So 15 is here, 10 is here. No.
15 is on the left hand side. Just look at the 10.
Okay, let's see this first.
Start putting in the cycle chart so that it will we have scattered everywhere here and there. So, and then it will be easy.
Okay.
Sorry.
Put whatever we have put it in a sorted manner. Try to put in a cycle, and then we can see what can.
So this is ordered right now. Okay, if you see this one, this is ordered. Now we have to put what can come after 18. Okay, so what I was saying is we can, if we see this 19, so are 15 and 10 done here?
15 and 18
15 is done, but 10 is not done. So where is 10? 10 is dependent on 9 and 1, so it will not be. So it will be also done late. And if it is done, done late, then these two will also be done late. Okay. So it means this. Oh, shit, yeah.
Again, it moved.
Yes. So this will come here, this will come with it, and this will also come with it. Okay. Now if we see this one, 11 and 6. So are we done with 11 and 6 here? No. 11 and 6 would be dependent on 11 is here and 6 we are not able to. 6 is also there. So this will also come after that. Okay. And
11.
what about 11, 6 and 4? Where is 4?
4.
4 is done here.
Okay.
So then looks like next item is this. Okay. Then this one. Then this. Now I'm going up. So this I came down, then this, and then going up. Okay.
Okay, understood. Again going down.
Yes, yes, right.
What is this?
103 and 102. How to identify like sometimes written like external dependency is something somewhere it is written because it was shown like we need to do for internal dependency.
I got that. I can
Only
do
internal.
that. Arey, this particular thing of mural is pathetic.
For external dependency, I think it's written in the blue part.
That is
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's giving you the numbers, right?
Yeah,
So
which number it has
we are done, but now the problem is if you see here, so this is our order, but if we can't start on this because for this we will have external dependency, these two.
Okay.
Not just this this one and this one.
So maybe you can go and check in their section if they've completed that.
So the first one is D. Just a minute. Where is D? Defense. And what was the number?
D4.
D4.
I think they're done. So you can start with yours.
So D1, D4 they have in first.
Yeah.
So we can put now.
We can increase if four stories in each cycle.
4. What is the number of this?
Let him go in a flow. He already arranged it.
Time is up, looks like.
And for sure, we don't have specific values attached, right, to the cards. It's only dependencies.
Looks like. This is okay. But we haven't put the external dependency. Let me do that also. We have on this and this, that's it. And this one, 3. Okay, we have the arrow, this one, and it will go till. Yes, this is D4, right?
Okay, I'm here. Supremacy. Okay, so the the effect, I mean, the plan should be to move the cards, the components in the different area of the cycles. So you know that in cycle 1, you plan to do this component, in cycle 2, this component, and this component. I don't know if you have done this.
Okay.
Because I see that you actually move the cards, the components, but not sure if you moved in the space of the cycles.
No, that we have dependencies, right? So we were just marking those dependencies with the other cards which we had. So unless and until they complete those cards, we will not be able to complete our card, right?
Yeah, but this is in the second stage. The first part of the activity is just to create your own backlog, forgetting that you have external dependencies. Just identify them, but don't manage them, and create your own backlog. So you know in which cycle you need the dependency solved. This is the idea.
Okay.
Okay, I think that everyone should be in the room now. So I expect.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, okay, this takes a little bit longer than usual. We have just 10 minutes before closing. So maybe we have time to make some analysis and some retrospective of this experience. So any comments you want to share?
Just one clarification wanted to know, like these cycle 1 and cycle 2 is one sprint, right? Because that is what we have taken into consideration. Our first task had a dependency, but we presumed that because a sprint is that of 2 cycles, so in 1 week that will be taken care of. So we took that other task which had the dependency in the same sprint, considering we will do it in cycle 2. So that's how we did it, and then we took all the cards from the internal dependencies one after the other, and the last one we kept for one more external dependency. So that's how we finished all the cycles.
Yeah, and just another piece of information is that you have the constraints that you cannot deliver more than 15 points
yes.
For each sprint.
Yeah, so we did that breakup was quite fair for us, except at one instance where it is going for 16 points. So I think 1 plus minus should be fine, right?
Yeah, this is not acceptable. You cannot do more than 15.
Oh, so this happened with us in one sprint where 1 point is becoming.
You have to reorganize it. You have to reorganize
it. Can we break the card? Presuming we will break it into 2.
No, at the moment, it's something that I'm thinking of, actually. I mean, to breaking a component in smaller components. But it's not so easy. It's something that I have in mind. At the moment, the rule is that you cannot break component. Yeah. This is a good approach from the Agile perspective, okay? But not for this game, not for the game.
Understand.
You have to be able to deal with the dependency. I mean, this game is exactly... Okay, let me share this while I see. I have the SAFe certification, so I manage different times the PI planning session, okay? In the PI planning session, what I notice is that the people is so focused on the backlog, okay, that actually they are not focusing on how to collaborate to make the backlog working, okay? And the results of this approach is that when the PI planning is over, you have a wonderful PI plan, but nothing will work from the day after. Okay, because the communication, the collaboration was completely forgotten. But it's not about the content, it's about the way to collaborate. So defining collaboration protocol is what is missing at the moment in scaling Agile, because each organization has its own scenario. Okay, so this game has been designed to let the team apply their own collaboration protocol in a scaling scenario. And each team each experience, each session I have facilitated found a different solution in terms of collaboration, because they are different. This is what is not described in the scaling framework. Makes sense what I'm trying to explain?
Yes, for sure.
And in this, let me say, couple of hours, the teams realize that building stuff, it's not enough when you are scaling. So this is the, let me say, the ultimate goal of this game. Because this is not about building. This is about planning, it's about collaborating, and it's about achieving the goal. Okay. In the second part of the session, actually, what is going to happen is that, and I see in the mission board here, every cycle, at the end of every cycle, we will discover an event. Okay? This event, for example, is that nothing is happening. Okay? So it's fine. You can continue to work as planned. But there are other events. Okay, this is also okay, because I normally draft this event randomly each of the session. Okay, so for example, in this session, at the end of the sprint 3, we need all the prisons block built because we have arrested Princess Azuna. Okay, so everything changed with the events. And this is exactly the essence of being agile, okay? Because we have built our plan so hardly, but at a certain moment, there was an event for which the supremacy team, because the prisons are in the effort of supremacy teams, have to build the prisons. And maybe they have planned to build the prison in cycle 5. So they have to completely change the plan because the emperor wants the prison built in cycle 3. And this is something that every session can be different. You can create different scenarios every session. So these games is absolutely replayable also with the same teams because the scenarios can be different. And this is the goal of the facilitator.
Yeah, absolutely. Great.
Any more questions?
No, but can you share some more examples, like share as in share, not because you have the fixed time, but can we go through some more examples on our own if you can pass it on?
What do you mean, more examples? The other session, you mean?
Not another session. I don't know, like if you have another session or not, but some of the case studies, couple of case studies, 1 or 2 that we can work on our own. Likewise.
Okay. So on some situation that happened
yes.
during the scenarios. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, a very interesting situation is with a team that we played in person, not in virtual. Okay, we played this in person. And there was one of the initiatives that actually decided to work for infrastructure. Okay, so they, by purpose, decide that the infrastructure was so in a great difficulty to deliver that actually they are blocking everyone else. And so they sacrifice themselves as an initiative for being more successful the other initiatives. And this has a reason, actually. I can show you, I think you can see this in my screen, okay? This is a matrix of the dependency, okay? If you look at this matrix, you have, here you have all the 6 initiatives, and here you have the 6 initiatives too, okay? But the difference is that on the vertical, you have as a donor, and on the horizontal, you have as a beneficiary, okay? So for example, if you look at this, communication, okay, is donor for defense, infrastructure, and supremacy, okay? And if you look at living, for example, is donor for supremacy and for traffic, for transportation, okay? On the other side, if you look at infrastructure, for example, infrastructure is donor to every initiative. So this means that if for any reason infrastructure is stuck because they are not able to deliver, actually no one can deliver.
Yeah.
Okay, if the same situation instead is happening on transport, you see, transport, sorry, on supremacy, supremacy actually has not is not dependent to anyone. So if supremacy is not able to deliver, actually, this is not impacting the other initiatives. And this backlog has been designed to create so many different situations. So for example, you can see that transport is strongly connected just with supremacy. So actually, in the collaboration protocol, it's not really helpful that transport will talk with living. They need to talk with supremacy, and that's enough. Okay, and the backlog again has been designed to create so many different situations so that each initiative is in a different position with the other. And so let me say, every part of the collaboration protocol can be tested with this game. Okay, so we have just 20 seconds before the end of the session. Okay, so the big advantage of this game is that you can engage your team of teams for, let me say, a half a day and make them facing all the issues in the collaboration that they for sure will find in the next months. Okay, so this is the real value of the game. You can lose the game, okay? You can lose the game at the end, but the outcome of the game is the collaboration protocol. Because all team members realize that, okay, we have to think in a different way while we are scaling. Maybe we need to sacrifice. Maybe we need to negotiate with other initiatives the backlog. It's not our backlog. The success is not for each of the initiatives. The success is for the dark star. Okay? And this is part of the facilitator guide that you can find in the website that I shared the link. This is the facilitator guide for the in-person, and then there is the specific facilitation guide for the virtual edition. Okay? And again, if you have questions, much better. I have no voice anymore, so I talk too much.
Yeah, so any questions from anyone? Okay, I guess not any questions.
Yeah, I was asked to share the link. I'm doing.
Okay.
In the chat, here is the link.
Yes. So the link is shared in the chat for everybody's benefit. Please save it. This was really great, very interesting game, and giving us the importance of collaboration. Yeah, I'm sure everybody enjoyed it.
Okay, I'm on LinkedIn. You can easily find me, and I'm also on Twitter at AgileDex. You can easily find me there. So for any question, what else, please contact me. On the Agile Game Factory website, as I mentioned, you can find some other games. They are there. Okay?
Great. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Corrado, for this game.
Thank you, Corrado.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, so we have got 2 more minutes extra for a break. So since nobody has questions, we'll just close this session for now. And our next session is, let me just check again. There's the next session. Yeah, so we have an interesting session by Niels, Jan, and Shobit next. So please be on time and we'll start the session at 6:10 India time. Thank you.